What is going on, everybody? My name is Hayward. I'm the CEO of Coach Hayward. Today's training, what we're going to be covering is the 4 reasons of why people typically cannot lose weight or keep weight off. Now, I want to make this training because whenever we're trying to do something, it's always good to look on the opposite side of why we sometimes can't do it, because it might actually teach us something from a different perspective. So instead of 4 reasons why people lose weight, we're going to look at the 4 reasons of why people can't lose weight sometimes. Okay, so let's jump into the training. Now, guys, I've tried to make this training twice now, but my previous camera that I want to use, the mic is kind of broken right now. So I'm going to be having to do more trainings on my computer for now on, but just work with me until we get that solved, that's for sure. All right, so before I jump into the 4 reasons and explain them all down for you, I just want to say that if you get something out of this training, if you learn something new, make sure that you like, you subscribe. And if you know a friend who might need this kind of help, make sure you share it to them, help them out. All right, so 4 reasons of why people can't lose weight and keep it off. So as you can see here, I got them all laid out. Number 1 is the non-sustainable approaches. Now, this is what we cover all the time, guys. And if you're an avid watcher who you consume my content on the regular, then you know about this one by now. Non-sustainable approaches are like the fad diets, the restricted approaches, doing these diets that don't necessarily fit with your lifestyle, but they help you lose weight, doing the shakes, the meal replacements, whatever it may be. These are the non-sustainable approaches. Now, to simply tell if you're doing a non-sustainable approach, just ask yourself, like, hey, am I going to be able to do this for the next 5 years of my life? Am I going to be able to do this for the next 2 years of my life? 10 weeks, whatever it may be? Ask yourself these questions. And if the answer is no, then that is a non-sustainable approach, which you probably want to throw in the trash and try something new. Because what happens all the time here is that someone will do these approaches and they'll either lose the weight or they don't. But let's say if they lose the weight, they'll lose it really quickly and then they'll come to a plateau, or they'll come to a point where they are losing weight and they're kind of happy with the results. And then they start adding back in their old foods again. They start having that cheat meal on the weekend. They start having that snack at nighttime again. And boom, eventually it's right back to square one. So these non-sustainable approaches, guys, we don't want to do them in the first place. They're discouraging, especially when you put all that work in and then you get that result at the end and then you lose it all long term. Number 2, no control. Now, what I mean by this is that no control basically means, like, when it comes to knowledge behind losing weight. Now, you can't really blame yourself on this one because there's so much knowledge out there that it's super hard to learn, the exact proper approach that's going to work best with you, especially when it comes to your macros, calories, counting, all this stuff. But it's not impossible, that's for sure. It's most definitely not impossible. You can definitely learn it. But a lot of times you got to cut the BS stuff that doesn't matter and just focus on the main things that work. But the reason why people typically fail on this one is because they'll get a program, they'll follow some sort of training, they'll do something that works with them, and then it goes good for a while. Or let's say if they're with a trainer or a program and then they copy that approach, they're good on their own for a while. But if they don't learn the exact process, or if they don't have a process that's customized around them, then the second that they hit a plateau or something happens, they crash, whatever it may be, they don't know how to work around the plateau. They don't know how to, have that proper control over their calories and adjusting things. So they go back to square one, okay? Or they do the wrong approach, work super hard on it, but get 0 results. And it's really discouraging. But in the end, it was because that control was missing. Okay, so number 3 is hitting calories. So either you can call it hitting calories or like the weekend crash, because this typically happens on weekends for people. Basically, it's when you do amazingly well most of the time, but either number 1 is that your weekends completely sabotage your results, or number 2 is that you're doing super well that you think you are, but then you don't account for those hidden calories, like that extra oil, the extra milk, that extra cheese slice, the extra snack at nighttime, the extra chocolate, whatever it may be. You don't take an account for those, and all those calories add up. So you're either at the point where number 1, you're not even going to be losing weight anymore, so you're kind of just staying the same, or number 2 is that you're in a very small deficit So you lose weight over time, but the results are like 0.3 pounds a week, if not less. So it gets very discouraging because your expectations are up here and the results are down here. So bridging that gap together, understanding that the hidden calories or that weekend crash is what holds us back. Okay. Number four is no foundation. What I mean by this is basically like if you build a house on sand, what's going to happen to that house the next time there's a storm or whatever it may be, wind comes across? That house is going to crumble down. And the reason being is because it's built on very poor foundation. Same thing here when it comes to our weight loss is that we have to build a proper foundation. The way I like to look at our foundation is as in our base, our habits. Okay. So these are things that you just do on a day-to-day basis because it's part of who you are. So that means maybe if you are an avid walker, you walk consistently all the time, and it's just a part of your day and it's just what you do, and that's perfect. That's a good foundation to have. Let's say, building the habits and stuff. If you meal prep every single Sunday and that's just part of who you are, and you've done that for so long that it's almost weird if you don't do it, then that is a proper foundation because it's going to help you towards your goals. Okay. So usually what happens here is that people will start out very strong on their fit goals. They will go on the right approach, they'll take the right proper path and everything. And the problem is though, it's like 0 to 100 though. So it's like going from nothing, New Year's resolutions, no gym, no working out, no nothing, to meal prepping every Sunday, working out 5-6 times a week, blah, blah, blah. And they start too strong, they get burnt out and back to their old habits. So guys, those are the 4 main reasons of what I see on why people tend to fail on their weight loss journeys, either if it comes to losing weight or just keeping the weight off. So I want to hear what you guys think though. So make sure that you let me know in the comments of what your opinion is. Do you agree with me? Do you feel like there's some other reasons of why people also struggle? If so, make sure you drop them down below. I want to hear your guys' words and see what you guys have to say. But other than that, if you did learn something new from this training, make sure that you make sure that you subscribe and share to a friend if you feel like someone may need this kind of help. Okay. It's always good to learn from different perspectives and different sides of the weight loss spectrum, I guess. Okay, so today we covered 4 reasons of why people typically can't lose weight, why they don't lose weight. Okay, so other than that, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the support, and I will see you on the next training.